We are live. Welcome to People That Pants, everybody. It is raining like a motherfucker out there right now where I am.
It's raining cat dogs.
It's raining men hallelujah, man. It is fucking nuts out there.
You know, I bring this up anytime this song is relevant. One time in 2018, when I was in DC, I was at the H Street Fair and I saw this woman do karaoke, and it's the greatest karaoke I've ever seen. So she got up on a stage and was like, I want you to play It's Raining Men, but not the radio edit.
Like the
She's
full 5.5 minute version.
She pops on the stage and can do the entire Weather Girls forecast, word for word, and she's switching between all of them.
So, like,
And
all the,
then
we got news for you, all that stuff.
news coming in at 5 o'clock. This is, and we got news for you. That's right, honey. Like, it's like all that. I'm like, she's like doing the intro as she's singing.
That's fantastic.
Like, coming tonight. In the mountain.
Ride is getting low. That's delightful. Shout what? Not that it matters, but what ethnicity was this woman?
See, this is the thing. It was what you did not expect.
Okay, what was it?
It was like, gotta be like a 30-year-old white soccer mom looking lady.
I fucking knew it. That's exactly what I was thinking.
like Sheila was just living her best life.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a fucking suburban middle-aged white lady. I love it. That makes it even funnier.
Yeah, because she's just so committed.
So Nick asked me to open the show with this because of a discussion we were having. I guess it's vaguely relevant to one of the things we're going to talk about tonight.
They laundered all of Europe's sins through Hitler, like some kind of fascist Jesus.
They pretty much did. If you look at the average person's casual knowledge of European history, they really did do that.
Go up to the average person and ask them what a pogrom is.
They might know.
But they're going to get weirdly connected to World War II in a way that they shouldn't.
Yeah, they're going to think specifically of like the Jewish ghetto pogroms in 1930s Germany. Now, don't get me wrong, those were bad, but there's a lot more of them in history than just that.
Like, I hate to be that guy to have to make a reference like this. I think it was Spielberg. He made American Tail, right?
He didn't direct it, but yeah, he was involved in it, producer, whatever.
Do you remember in the beginning where like Fievel and all of his people were getting run out by the cats, and the cats seemed to be like really well organized and they had uniforms and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one fun example for like people to latch onto if they've seen the movie. But like throughout European history, they're essentially fucking up Jewish people, and everyone's kicking them around. The reason that the fucking Holocaust could even happen the way it did was the treatment of all leaders, including the U.S., towards like, man, just let someone else deal with the Jewish extermination. Which is
rather infamously, Anne Frank was turned down for immigrating to the U.S.
And frankly, it's disgusting.
Yeah, like there's an alternate universe out there where Anne Frank is some like 87-year-old woman living in Boston that no one's ever heard of. Or however old she'd be now if she were still alive. Something like 87.
She'd be most likely dead, wouldn't she?
By now, yeah.
Like just
by now
this
she'd
point,
probably be dead from old age.
Yeah, like because okay, I feel like the way I'm just kind of thinking about
Let's
her
find out.
age, Elie Wiesel.
Yeah, he lived a long fucking time though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He lived a long fucking life, but he was like 10 at Auschwitz. Or was it Auschwitz? I think it's at Birkenau. Fuck.
He was older than her, though, to be fair.
Was he that much older than her?
Uh, so according to Wikipedia, she was born in 1929. Let's see.
Yeah, no, like I'm actually curious.
Eli Wiesel. Oh no, he was only a year older than her. I
That's
thought he
what I'm
was
saying.
okay. So he was older than I thought when he went to
Yeah, no,
camp.
he was just old as fuck. Like,
Yeah. Anne Frank was born in 1929. So yeah, she'd likely be dead of old age by now. But then again, you never fucking know.
and don't get me wrong, Ellie got kind of problematic at the end of his fucking life. But I'll be real, guys. I've talked about this off stream with a buddy of mine, and I'll say a little bit here. We should always remember that while Night is one of the most important books that we ever will have in our species, we shouldn't necessarily put the burden of completely recognizing everything about the Holocaust on the child who lived there. I I know for
Yeah.
a long time he was heralded as like almost a sage. And like, listen, we should treat him amazingly. Obviously, we're rest in peace. But like, we aren't gonna do any good trying to. How do I fucking put this? Be careful about hero worshiping the guy for being a survivor.
Sainthood is a burden.
That is also true. And there's
Yeah.
anyone who's a fucking they haven't actually sainted him or anything.
Who's they?
I mean, just like I haven't heard of any posthumous awards for him that like people get when they're
He got
dead.
so many in life. I think they just gave them all to him. You know, fair enough. The man went through
Fair.
some bad shit, and he wrote a really good book about it.
Well, he wrote two.
What was the second? I only read Night.
There's Day.
Oh shit! Hang on. I can never spell this guy's name. Oh, there's three of them. There's Night, Dawn, and Day.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Okay. I mean,
I
that's
I didn't want to fuck up and say the wrong thing, but yeah.
also
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
that's
realize
not a
how.
one-book thing.
What?
That's not a one book thing like most people usually just go, oh,
Oh.
it's Night. Like, yeah, no, Night's one part of his life. He still has to live.
Yeah, I only read Night because it was assigned in school in fucking 8th grade too. By the way, I didn't realize that it was first published in 1956. That's nuts. I assumed it was from a lot later than that.
That's why it's very powerful, because essentially the kid came out the guns and was just like writing.
Yeah, well, he would have only been like 30 years old when he wrote Night then, because he was like 15 when they first went in, so he wasn't much older than that when he got
I
out.
thought he was younger when he went in.
I distinctly remember that he was 15, and the reason why is because there's a part of the book that my English class discussed a lot, which is that when they were like first getting to the camp, one of the guys who'd like heard about the camps told them, "Hey, tell them you're 18 and 40." Because those are the
Yeah.
ages between, and like there's a whole page dedicated to him, like, all right, am I believable as an 18-year-old? I'm only 15. And like,
Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
I think his dad was like 50 but lied and said he was 40 or something.
I've got to be just a decent human being and reread all these books.
Yeah, I because Night flashes forward occasionally, like to stuff post Holocaust, but most of it just takes place during.
I mostly just think about the run when I think about that book.
Thinking about what?
Uh, the
Your
um,
mic
the
cut
um,
out for a sec.
the run.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, the run.
Oh, I kind of thought about that when I watched The Long Walk, actually.
a lot more chill.
Oh yeah. Well, it is and it isn't.
I mean, for those of you who apparently this is a history podcast sometimes. We really don't know what we are yet, guys. So like bear with us as we find out. Maybe we are a history podcast. We do seem to know a lot about it.
We talk about things that are interesting.
I at some point we're gonna nail down a niche. I swear to God, I cannot stand this like undeclared college ass shit. But we'll get to it eventually.
I've got some good stuff. Don't worry.
Oh no, absolutely. See, that's the thing. We always got good stuff. It's always just putting them in nice little rows for everyone to look at while we parade it in front of the screen. But
well, speaking of white supremacy, I'd like to transition to the namesake topic of today, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Haven't seen it yet. I got big plans too. I'm gonna go see it in a big theater.
I just saw it this afternoon.
Well, lucky bastard. But I called from fucking jump what was gonna happen here, and I think, from what I heard from Larry, I was pretty on the money.
Now, walk me through again what it is, just in case I'm misremembering.
This is a movie attempting to really tell the story in like a full ass, like, this is to bring back what movies can be. This is Scorsese's fucking done. So like we have to really do good movies again. And it's not about any wokeism or anything. It's about trying to get your best view of this story to be brought to another fucking life. Because the Odyssey was translated in the first place from oral to written. So I don't think any of us can actually complain much.
Yeah, there isn't really like any one canon version of the Odyssey, really.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this story can really move, and I'm for that.
Like, there are basics of the story that are settled, like, oh, here's the Cyclops scene. Oh, here's this scene. But like,
Larry,
across the millennia, across the millennia, the details can shift a little.
I really was just hoping, oh shit, look at that, he's filming around the world. Oh shit, he's like spending 250 mil. He's really trying. And we can fit this into the larger fun conspiracy of Christopher Nolan feels bad about ruining Hollywood for one or two reasons that you might argue about or debate about. But because of that, he is dedicated to bringing back movies about.
It's really funny too, because of all the people who've worked on superhero movies, he's the one who was the farthest away from ruining them.
Like, yes, but at the same time, I think we can all feel like if you took a man and you had him live in a box and like you didn't let him see any superhero movies, and then you showed him Batman Begins, and then you showed him Dark Knight, and then you showed him Dark Knight Rises, I think he'd be sad. And I think Christopher Nolan knows that.
You know, I was just looking up his name to make sure I wasn't talking out of my ass. If we're gonna blame a director for the rise of superhero movies and their overabundance in Hollywood, we really need to blame Stephen Norrington for directing Blade.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're fighting this battle alone. Enjoy this Sisyphusian hill thing. State your case. What?
Oh, I love Blade. Blade is great. But that Blade was the first, like, superhero movie as we'd describe it in modern terms. Like, basically, if you want to blame directors for creating superhero movies as we know them, you have to blame it on Stephen Norrington for Blade, Bryan Singer for X-Men, and Sam Raimi for Spider-Man.
Dog, I feel like all of those are wildly out of pocket because that's not, like, one, it's not just about superhero movies. Let's not get ham-fisted on that. But if we're gonna talk about superhero movies, all the ones you mentioned are not the fucking slop we get now.
No, that's my point. They were like real movies, and Hollywood was like, oh shit, we can actually like make superhero movies that people can take seriously, of heroes other than Superman and Batman, that is. So that's what kicked off the rise of like superhero movies as we define them.
Yeah, see, but that's bringing something to the forefront. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm trying to quality check. So I don't got a problem with them bringing it to the forefront. I got a problem with the people who go, now how much can I diminish this product while still selling it?
Kevin Feige, then that's who you need to blame.
Yeah, now we're having the conversation like that. That's what I'm talking about. Well, is that
so him for the business side of it, Joss Whedon for just the tonal style. And I hate to do it, but fucking Jon Favreau gets a little bit of the blame for the largely improvised, quippy Iron Man style of dialogue.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like that's where I want to aim if we're talking about shitty superhero shit.
Well, even beyond superheroes, Joss Whedon will pay for his fucking crimes against screenwriting because he is the reason that like when I watched The Electric State, I know you didn't see it, which is wise on your part. Every single time in that movie, there's a little moment where two human beings connect on an emotional level. Something funny comes in to do something wacky so the audience doesn't have to sit with the uncomfortable feeling for more than a second.
Yeah, I mean,
Joss Whedon will pay for his fucking crimes, man. He didn't write that shit, but he might. A bad imitator of his wrote it.
And now, I mean, do you really think superhero movies are the only thing that people could get mad at Nolan about? Pull up a list. Let's pull up a list of Nolan's movies.
Yes, which again, like another director we'll talk about later, surprisingly few movies for how famous he is.
Are you talking about the bar raiser himself?
Well, no, actually, but James Cameron is another example. Oh, 13 is more than I thought. Okay, I have seen almost all of these.
Okay.
In fact, I've seen everything from Batman Begins onward, and I've technically seen Memento, but I was like 10 years old, and it was one of those. It's less that I saw it, and it's more that I was in the room doing something else while my dad watched it.
I still kind of blame Inception.
For which part?
Inception proved that an audience doesn't have to doesn't understand shit and doesn't have to understand shit.
Oh, you're saying Inception was the first time that a movie that smart was so successful?
Calling Inception smart is a bit of a fucking stretch, isn't it?
Cerebral.
Yes.
Yeah, cerebral.
But I'm saying that it points out something about the audience, and it just shows what we'll take, which is barely understanding shit, as long as you make it boom, 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 dramatic.
Yeah, well, Tenet got. By the way, this drives me insane. Tenet got accused a lot of that when it came out. Like, I heard a ton of like, "Oh, it's a total trippy mindfuck, bro. You got to watch it like 7 times to get it." And then I watched it once and I understood it like almost perfectly.
I don't remember what Tenet was, to be honest with you.
That's the time travel one with John David Washington.
Oh.
Like, I'm not saying that's my favorite of Nolan's movies or anything, but like, I understood it just fine off of one viewing.
A lot of people have trouble with time travel. So what can I say?
I will say, at the time that came out, I was kind of pissed at Nolan for insisting it be in theaters, but that's just because COVID was fucking like killing a 9/11's worth of people every day. So,
I mean, theaters did kind of die.
You know what? How do I phrase this without sounding like a fucking dickhead?
Phrase it and sound like a dickhead.
Okay. I like going to the movies. I don't like that everything goes there first. Not it's not that I want everything to be straight to streaming. It's that, and I'm just gonna fucking say it, you motherfuckers don't deserve movie theaters.
Wasn't the elitism ass?
Some of you fucking pricks don't know how to behave, and it's fucking killing the movie theater experience for the rest of us.
Killing the movie theater experience.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like,
What
for
is
example,
the movie theater experience?
So when I'm watching a movie, let's say Obsession, in theaters, I should be able to watch that whole movie without a fucking obnoxious little 14-year-old like turning his flashlight on directly into my eye.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, like, do you know how many times I checked my phone during the 3-hour movie I saw today? 0!
Just because you got no hose.
Well, no, actually, I felt. I mean, I do have no hose currently, but that's not why. I felt it vibrate in my pocket a number of times as various emails and texts and fucking other things came in. Did I check
But you
any
knew
of
in your
them?
heart it wasn't from any hose.
Not this time, no. Sometimes it is. Do you know how many times I checked it? 0. 1, because I was actually watching the fucking movie. And 2, because I have enough decency to not turn on a fucking bright ass phone in the theater with other people around me.
Dog, don't turn boomer. It's a 14-year-old. They do not have good impulse control, nor do they have great decision making skills. Just let them be 14.
Yeah, that's why I didn't fucking yell at him, because I knew he was a kid. If that was an adult doing that, I would have fucking yelled at the motherfucker probably during or certainly after the movie. But that's not what I mean. It's not. Granted, young people are like a part of the problem, basically, just because they're all fucking brain damaged from COVID and they don't understand it yet. But like, my fucking god, I should not ever have to hear like constant chatter behind me, or frankly, a lot of these motherfuckers that I was in the theater with today, they behaved themselves just fine. They weren't smart enough for this fucking movie. Do you know how I know that for sure?
Is this classical literature?
Well, yes, but for another reason. Because a lot of people are forced to read the Odyssey in school, whether they give a shit about classical literature or not. So before the movie, they had trailers, as they always do. And one of the trailers is for an upcoming film called Focker-in-Law.
That's pretty funny.
Well, no, the pun is mildly amusing. Do you know those movies? The Meet the
Yes,
Fockers?
I've seen Ben Stiller's Meet the Fockers and also Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, okay. So
Can you milk a cat? Jerry, are you going to milk me? Yeah.
Apparently, this is the 4th one.
Honk if you're horny? Bro, I was there.
Yeah, so I think I probably was too, but I don't remember the fucking things. So the trailer...
Meet the Fockers, Little Fockers.
Yeah, and now we have Focker-in-Law. So they show the trailer for Focker-in-Law, and it doesn't look like the most hideous movie I've ever seen, but it's just typical like Hollywood comedy schlock.
As it be.
My god, fucking not the whole audience, to their credit, but a sizable chunk of this surprisingly packed for a weekday audience fucking clapped like trained seals for the goddamn Meet the Fockers 4 trailer.
And?
It just broke my fucking heart to see.
Why?
I just wish the audience, certainly one as packed as that, I wish that the audience for the Odyssey didn't also overlap with Meet the fucking Fockers.
Why?
Because those movies are dumb. Sorry, they just are.
Man, they're silly comedy movies. What do you want from them?
I want them to be good. But even that, like, all right, fine, those movies exist. Why are they intermingling with, like, serious art drama? That's really weird.
Because people are multifaceted.
No, not really. I'm multifaceted. You're multifaceted. A
For
lot of
people,
people are not multifaceted.
I don't know.
I actually, and you're gonna make fun of me for this, but fuck it. I actually
No.
spent most of the movie wearing a fucking COVID mask because the guy next to me, I don't know that he was a chud, but he had chud phrenology, and after hearing him cough once or twice, I'm like, nope.
Can I just okay? I just need to point that out here. You just used the phrase "chud phrenology."
I did.
Complaining about how young people are the problem. You're just
Oh
internet
no,
boy friend.
most of
You
what I
touch
just said
grass.
had
Touch
nothing to do with young
grass.
people. Only the thing with the flashlight was a young person, and that wasn't because
I'm
he was
just
young.
saying you need to touch grass, my like dude.
Well, I did touch grass today. Like I literally did. I went out and I did shit. But anyway, this dude was fucking. He looked like what you imagine in your head when you picture a Trump supporter. So after hearing him cough, I'm like, nope, you're not giving me whatever you have. Fuck you.
Chud phrenology.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it means that if I told you to close your eyes and imagine a Republican, like imagine like a fucking slovenly redneck type Republican, this guy looked like what you are picturing.
I really feel like you don't know how these terms work.
he just he had he if he wasn't a fucking Republican, he missed his calling. All right, he was born to be one.
What do you do? What do you mean?
He looked like a fucking redneck from like a Family Guy episode or something. Big fat dude in like a fucking trucker hat and a t-shirt and cargo shorts. Like his fat rolls like spilling into my seat.
Man,
Like, what do you want from me? You look like what you're imagining.
I want you to like let us get some of the big white guys on the team by not having you ostracized.
Oh no, the big white guys are welcome here as long as they're not pricks. And I don't know for sure that this guy
You're
was a
being a
prick.
prick.
He looked like it. I didn't
You're
say
being
anything
a
mean.
prick.
I didn't start a fight. I just saw what he looked like and thought to myself, I'm not catching whatever this guy's
I didn't
coughing
say
up.
anything mean. I just went behind his back and talked shit on a stream about him.
I didn't find out his name. He doesn't know.
And that's what makes it prickish or not prickish.
Well, yeah. It's a lot meaner if you fucking insult them directly.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And also, again, I could be wrong. He could be the nicest person on earth. I'm just saying he fucking look, I did my profiling and he fit the description, all right?
What you white people have lost the privilege of profiling. Why don't
Yeah,
you
but
get
I'm
that?
profiling other white people.
No, y'all just don't get to profile anyone anymore.
Anyway, what were we talking about before I went on this whole fucking spiel?
We were gonna talk about the Odyssey, and then you were complaining.
Oh, yeah. So my overall point was I love going to the movie theater, but not everybody can be trusted with the responsibility of behaving themselves in public.
Well, the social experience I went to wasn't perfectly tailored to me.
Well, this one actually was. It was fine. Nobody fucking said anything bad or irritated me too much, other than laughing at the goddamn Meet the Fockers trailer. But that's
Then
just
just
like
let everyone enjoy their time.
I did. I just have the right to bitch about it afterwards.
I do. You have the right to bitch, but like, you had a good time. Seems really silly to not come out of this like, you know, people all can enjoy the theater together. You're like, no.
Well, I did appreciate how many fucking people were there. Like again, especially in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, because I go at that time normally because there's nobody there.
Dog, because everyone is literally going to vibe check this movie.
Oh, I know. I'm just shocked it took that many people so long to get there. I mean, I only waited this long so I could save money.
They all had the thought that they could avoid the fucking Wokies by doing what you're doing.
Maybe. I don't even care about the fucking populace of the theater. In my case, it was just because if I go on a Tuesday, it's only like $5.
This is the fourth time I think you've mentioned on stream that you paid $5 for this ticket.
Well, actually, this one was $7 because it was the fucking fancy theater. But
Ooh.
my point is that rather than the normal like $15+ price of going in the middle of the afternoon, or maybe in the afternoon it's more like 12, but still, it was an absurd discount for something I wasn't worried about spoilers for. But yeah, I didn't go to IMAX because I wasn't driving all the way to fucking Natick. But I went to the like, I think it's called X Plus or something at Showcase. It's like the bigger screen with the more high tech sound and projection and everything. So it's not like full. Which part?
What does Odysseus and a drug dealer have in common?
They're both away from their families because they're needed elsewhere.
They both do not get excited at the sound of sirens.
Aha. I won't spoil, but to nobody's surprise, that scene was in the movie.
No
Shocker,
shit.
I know.
This just in, they tied the motherfucker to the fucking like what are words? Mast? Yeah, mast. There we go. I
was a little surprised because there were like one or two really well-known parts of the movie that they kind of skimmed over.
Like what?
Like the nobody scene. Like the whole scene with the Cyclops happens, but he never has to like, I'm nobody, and then, you know, that whole thing.
I don't know how much I care about him pulling a mental one up on a Cyclops.
Yeah, it's not important. It's just so famous that I was shocked they didn't include it.
They do really love that story of him dunking on a Cyclops. Like,
yeah, like that part of the Odyssey is like one of the best known parts amongst normal, like non-scholar people.
But like, why is that important, Larry? Why is
it's not important. It's just
like no. Like, I'm like saying, like, why is that scene important?
The nobody scene?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that important because the movie didn't suffer from losing it.
Excuse me. Well, I more mean the whole thing with the Cyclops anyway.
Like, you mean thematically? Why is it important?
Yeah.
I guess because it teaches Odysseus, oh shit, he like there are things coming for him that are scarier than him. I don't know.
Well, it's a dual-edged sword, actually.
Okay.
Because it's there are literal giant obstacles to be overcome. But if we can you pull up a Greek god chart for me, please? Because I want to make sure I don't fuck this one up. That this one's silly.
Family tree of Greek gods. Yeah. The only question is, can I make the damn thing bigger? Here we go.
Okay. And and let me double check out one thing because goddamn it, I'm tired today.
Thank you, useful charts. This chart is indeed useful. Also, what is it with what is it with religions having like a long-haired bearded guy as their chief deity?
It's the mix of the wild man combined with civilization. As early as Gilgamesh and Enkidu, we can be seen to kind of realize the full potential of man's power in this later age, and it's dualistic. But then that dualism slowly got reformed into an upstanding man while still retaining a barbarous look.
That makes sense.
I mean, I guess there's also a couple other arguments to be made, but that's like my go-to thought process. Um, but anyways, so Odysseus, our good old boy, is fucking with Zeus. He's fucking with Athena. He's fucking with Aphrodite. And,
Possibly literally.
well, like, he's fucking over most of them. Aphrodite's happy with him, but that's a whole complicated thing.
The Athena stuff is addressed directly in the movie.
Yeah, well, and do we know what the Cyclops is?
It's one of Poseidon's offspring, right?
Yeah, so you're kind of fucking just opening him up to the whole field. The the
Yeah.
the, the point is he's fucked.
The movie's a little ambiguous about that, but well, they bring that up, and it's ambiguous whether or not Poseidon is actually retaliating or if it's just bad luck. But
Well, you kill his kid and then set off on the ocean. What the fuck do you think? Are you serious?
well, what I mean is that we don't have like Poseidon show up on the ship and say, "I'm gonna kill you, Odysseus."
Well, no, because he's just like, oh, you really just thought you could do that? Watch this.
Yeah.
And what the water is just like,
It's certainly left open to the possibility that that is what's going on.
well, that's a fucking big spiritual part of the story. And
Yeah.
the fact that we even have to address it like this is where I'm like, dude, how much do we got to fucking bitch about part of the Cyclops story being cut off when we're not even addressing how the Cyclops really matters in terms of what's going to happen?
Well, they do, like, don't worry, the movie does, get to that pretty immediately after the Cyclops encounter.
Oh, yeah, no. I guess my point is more like, I'm not assuming our audience has like the best allegorical understanding of what's going to be happening here. So like I
That is
think we can
wise.
cut out bits and pieces that like are really contribute like they're really important to that part. But if our audience mostly isn't going to have that, we can try to get them to where we need to get them while sidestepping one or two of those things. And I think the whole "Who are you? I'm nobody," because then the Cyclops goes, he's like, "Oh, nobody fucked me up," and like for a second it's kind of funny, and then it's like, "Oh no, he found you, he found you."
Plus, like, when the Odyssey was being written, shall we say, written in heavy air quotes, that was the first time anyone had ever done that trope, whereas now we've seen that trope parodied 1,000 times elsewhere. Frankly, it's kind of the same reason that Nolan didn't directly include the I am become death thing in Oppenheimer. He just danced around it.
Dude, well, because no one even does the quote fully. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Frankly, I see why people compare this new Odyssey movie to Oppenheimer because thematically they're similar.
Because it's Nolan running to go, real stories matter. Real stories matter. Real stories matter.
Well, true, but it's also just more generally they both have like a protagonist with at least nominally good intentions who accidentally unleashes something that fucks the world up.
I can see that, but like,
Because I won't like some of the stuff I'm talking about is actually somewhat original to the movie, so I won't spoil it. But like,
okay, yeah, no, I mean, like, I'll see it soon.
yeah, I'll put it this way: they spend a lot more time on how Odysseus feels after fucking up Troy, and his feelings are not as unambiguously positive about it as they are in the original text.
Well, how do I put this? In the original text, it was understood a lot of the subtext that now needs to be spoon fed to people because no one knows how to fucking read these stories correctly.
Yeah,
war is bad. It's a thing that happens sometimes, but it's like really bad. And Troy is a war that ended a civilization. That is beyond bad. For someone in the ancient world, this is essentially the worst thing you, as a mortal man, can pull off. That's really fucked up.
You know what I got? I think part of it is so books are by definition like a very imaginative art form, right?
Yes.
So partially maybe because of that, or maybe just because target audience is different. I feel like when it comes to a book, an audience member has a much easier time understanding the idea that, like, just because the character thinks this way doesn't mean that the text is saying that's correct.
It's also really easier to separate literal text characters from each other.
Yeah. But I think of like to use an example from a movie we're going to talk about in a bit, Boogie Nights. So when I rewatched it, I'd forgotten about the little plot line where one of the porn stars loves to paint. Like she loves doing portraits of people and shit.
Yeah.
And she's fucking god awful at it. But because all the other porn stars are her best friends, they're all really encouraging and they all like proudly display her stuff. But like I think of how bad the art had to look for it to be obvious to a viewer that it's supposed to be bad and that we're doing that on purpose. Because if it was only a little bit shitty, it might be less obvious and people might go, "Oh, that's not very good."
So you might just say movies are hyperbolic by nature.
Well, yes, but also movies don't require as much of your imagination by their very construction. So
Well, that
sometimes,
means that they're excessive in their delivery delivery of it by need though.
yeah, and they're also like audiences when they're going into a movie aren't as revved up to the idea that they have to do a lot of the mental legwork the way they are by definition when they open a book.
Very valid. Very valid.
Like in writing, it's a lot easier to like show the good guy do something fucked up and make it clear that he doesn't see that as fucked up, but me, the omniscient narrator, does. Whereas, like in a movie, if you just show him like behead somebody, you have to be a little clever with how you show it if you want to give off the impression, oh shit, that's fucked up that he did that. Like you have to use a certain musical cue or a certain camera angle to indicate, like, oh shit, he's being the villain here. In a book, it's
Gladiator
easier to
versus
just
300.
describe it. Also,
I
I
mean,
missed what you said. What'd you say?
Gladiator versus 300.
Yes. Yes.
Like I think that's very good.
Yeah, I mean, just think of how often, like, I know you don't spend as much time on Twitter as I do, but like, think of
I don't
how
spend any time.
often
No one spends time on Twitter.
they should. It's a delightful cesspool.
Dog, you can't spend time on a dead fucking thing. You can
So,
spend time
like,
on the everything app.
whatever. I'll use The Pit, for example, because apparently that's many people on Twitter's first TV show ever.
Ew.
A lot of, not literally, but like seemingly,
Ew.
um, a lot of people would like point to scenes where Dr. Robbie acts hypocritically. And they think that's a mistake, like a continuity error on the showrunner's part, and not an intentional decision to show that Dr. Robbie isn't in his best frame of mind right now.
Yeah, people don't got media literacy. It's an all-time low.
Yeah, someone on Twitter the other day said, "I swear to God, the Obsession is the first movie any of you have ever actually watched without checking your phone." Like, don't get
Even
me wrong, I loved Obsession. It's like in my top 5 of the year so far, but it's a pretty straightforward movie. There's not a lot of like ambiguity to, oh shit, who's right and who's wrong. The answer's pretty obvious.
I mean, I started watching it, and like I didn't get much into it just because I was busy. But it seems kind of ambiguous in that it was a harmless gesture, right?
Well, yeah, I won't spoil, but it goes on from there. He makes many more decisions that cement his place on the
I
asshole
had a
circuit.
feeling that was coming, and I okay, okay. I
Yeah.
was just like, so far, I just saw the dude be like a reasonable human being so far.
Yeah, he starts off the movie like cowardly, don't get me wrong, and weak,
Absolutely,
but
sure.
somewhat, certainly not ill intentioned.
All I'm saying, he started off the movie more hoes than Larry.
Not really, because he also had. Well, I guess he had. Shit. Okay, no spoilers. No
He
spoilers.
had point 0.5 of a hoe.
Yeah, that's accurate.
He had point 0.5 of a hoe. Listen, I can read things very well. He had point 0.5 of a hoe. Like,
Well, I may not have any hoes at the moment, but what I do have is a number of female friends whom I respect.
well, I mean, maybe your male friends could be hoes too. Let's not discriminate.
Oh no, some of them are. They're just not hoes for me.
That's the problem.
I don't want them to be.
Pop that thing. Let it clap. Let it clap. Ride this beat while you sit on my lap. Spread them cheeks. Let me see that hole. Shake that ass like you're out of control. Debate.
I gotta say, I don't know if I'm proud or, I mean, I'm not ashamed. I don't know if I'm proud or neutral about this, but I've never actually fucked any of my friends.
Oh, this is a terrible time. No, we're not zooming in on me now. That's fucking absolutely not. The fuck you think I am? DMX?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia. Yeah.
yeah, well, I unfortunately for me am only into women, which makes my dating life harder in some ways.
The fuck are you saying?
I'm saying that I'd have a lot more options for getting my dick sucked if I also was attracted to men.
You say that in such an implicating way. Like, my guy. First of all, you don't gotta blame it on the men. You just gotta fuck more of your friends.
Well, that's what I'm saying is for better or worse, I'm only interested in women. And I have several female friends, but not like, I don't have binders full of women like Mitt Romney does. And the women I'm friends with, I'm not particularly interested in fucking. So here we are. I only fuck women I date. Sorry.
And Larry don't date. So
No, I
sorry.
do, just not anywhere near as often as I wish I did.
We gotta send you out to like if I think we just gotta hit Boston.
I will say that there is a fucking girl who works at the weed store that I did not know until the last time I was there who's very pretty. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with that. And she works at a weed store, so I know that she's like reasonably age appropriate.
You fucking Google Uber. Meet a person who's not working. Find a person who's not getting paid and or dealing with regulations and have a conversation with them.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to ask her out at work. That's a dick move, but
I'm gonna follow her. Like, what are you gonna do? You fucking goob.
I don't know, maybe chat with her, and if she gives me her Instagram, follow her on Instagram. I don't fucking know. Send her some fucking memes. That's what I do with most people I talk to.
Ugh.
Speaking of romance, I vote we get into our second topic of the night because there's not much to say about the Odyssey. It's great. Just go fucking watch it.
It was good. Go watch it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was
let's get
great. Really,
bitched about how to combine screen time of 8 minutes. Y'all are a bunch of fucking babies. Y'all just
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into that. So Helen of Troy, small part of the story, but
because she's a small part of the fucking story.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, she has. It feels like more than 5.5 minutes of screen time, just given that the scenes she's in are very important. But it is only about like 5.5 minutes.
This just in. This isn't a fucking Achilles movie. This is the Odyssey. But none of you fuckers can keep track of what story's which, and you thought we were gonna be spending all of this time in fucking Troy.
Yeah, Achilles isn't even in the movie at all.
Because he shouldn't be.
Well, he makes like a cameo in the text, but
Well,
it's like
sure,
it's
but
okay
like
if he makes a cameo in the movie. But
well, he's doing his like actually he should be dead by now.
yeah, doesn't he make a cameo in like the hell sequence in the book?
Sure, but that's like
I say the book. You
once
know what I
again,
mean.
it's gonna be a little bit of fucking like explaining things to the audience that we don't have the fucking energy to do, dude. I'm not gonna go down to fucking hell and fucking see these warriors and have to explain, well, what? I thought he was awesome. I thought he was super cool fighting. It's like, no, actually, it's a whole complicated question.
I won't spoil anything, but what I'll say is that sequence in the movie is great.
I'm sure it's great. All I'm saying is I think
Well,
we
what I
have
mean is that it doesn't make you do that. Like they find a way to get all the relevant information across only with the characters we already know.
I had a feeling Nolan essentially read the book or read the story, read this translation, and was like, I understand what you're doing. Let me try to put the vision into the format that I know. In other words, let me do the work that movie makers don't do anymore and like not just splat something into another medium, but translate the point, the purpose, and then make it visually satisfying and great. In
And he
other
does
words,
all of that.
yeah. In other words, something that they couldn't do any part of when making the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series.
I like that you say that as if I disagree when I just agree with you overall.
I just say it as if you take the time to watch it, and
I
like I don't
will.
know,
I'll defend the music in it. That's about it. And the
watching
casting
that feels like
choices.
taking the time to fucking consume AI slop because it's human slop.
It does kind of look like AI at times.
At a certain like, I just want to bring back rejecting human slop as emphatically as people want to reject AI slop. Where they're like, I won't even watch this. All right then, bring that same fucking energy to all this trash, then, bro. The
Don't
fuck?
worry, there's plenty of trash I don't watch.
There's plenty of trash.
For every trash thing I hate watch, dude, there's about 1,000 more trash things I don't hate watch.
Well, listen here, Randy. Like, I'm I'm sure that like if we lower the bar, there's a bunch of shit we don't watch. But like still,
At least I've never watched fucking Love Island.
did I watch Love Island? No, I didn't watch Love Island. I did watch the other random thing Netflix had in response to Love Island.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. Or I don't watch reality TV in general.
But it was just because I was making a gigantic batch of meatballs and I needed something to play on my TV uninterrupted for like
True.
4 hours that was so random but not interesting enough that I'd stop cooking.
I use fucking YouTube streams for that myself, but that's just me.
I mean, I'm always picking different shit. Sometimes it's like a deep dive into a historical figure or like an event. Sometimes it's lore for a random fucking universe or character. Sometimes it's reality garbage. I mean, I'm like, listen, I know I was just saying reject slop. Well, listen, folks, if you use poison in tiny increments,
Yeah,
it is
it'll
and
kill
call
you.
it medicine.
Hang on,
So
I'm just trying to remember what
don't
the
come at
name of
me. Just saying.
Xenon, that's it. Yeah. Okay, yeah,
Wait,
Elliot
are you
Page
talking
just
about that Disney movie, Xenon Z3?
No, I was talking about the Odyssey still. Elliot Page does not play Achilles, despite what all the right-wing chuds claimed.
I, I, Dog, I ain't got no beef with Elliot Page. They're okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was just
No, it's just very much
reading
like,
this.
how often do they even come up? Like, what are you guys watching the Umbrella Academy and getting fucking mad that the project by Gerard Wade is fucking youth minded? Go fuck yourself.
Um, yeah, basically, there is no reason that Elliot Page was relevant. It's just because they gave him this fucking role, and everyone was like, "He's playing fucking Achilles, this bullshit," and he's not playing Achilles. He's playing Sinon.
Fucking
Anyway, speaking of romance, I've been watching my fucking Paul Thomas Anderson marathon.
Oh, well, one last thing
Yes.
before we move on from the Odyssey. Just for anyone who wants to complain about what Helena Troy looks like, who's Helena Troy's parents?
Yeah, true. Now she is very dark skinned for that ancestry, but still,
Well,
there's
no,
nothing
hold on. What
like that.
ancestry? Who's Helena Troy's parents?
You told me the other day, and I forget the answer.
Zeus turned into a fucking swan and fucked a lady.
Oh right, yeah.
And you
Done
guys
that.
want to come to me and talk about the fucking genealogy of this kid? Are you fucking insane?
Yeah, there's a few like ethnic minorities sprinkled throughout Odysseus's men, but it works because it just makes you feel like, oh shit, this little Ithacan group has people from all over in it. Like,
it's almost like it's a fucking war band. What are we
yeah, it
talking
makes them
about?
feel like
What the
well
fuck are we
traveled and
talking?
shit.
Because it's a Mediterranean well-traveled war band. Are we dumb? Like,
Yeah,
no,
like Helen of Troy, like she's not the only black person in the movie, but she has like even for black people, like really dark obsidian skin.
Her dad is Zeus though, and he was a swan. And I just like, why
well,
you
yeah,
guys
that
are?
too.
Well, why are people acting like she?
But
She
what I'm getting at is that
Sweeney.
even with other black people in the movie, Helen of Troy still really catches your eye because she has such dark skin and she's beautiful and her like they light her really well. So it really highlights her fucking physique. She looks great. You get why they launched fucking wars over her. But like that really dark skin makes her feel kind of I hate to say exotic because that sounds racist, but it makes her feel like she's from a different place. Like it makes her stand out in comparison to the other Greeks.
I know exactly what you're saying. I feel like there's a better word we could use. Let's try to think about the verbiage we would give to an elf in Tolkien. And try to
I'd say fantastical there, but I don't want to call black people existing fantastical.
well, fair point. But I transcendent isn't the word.
Yeah, I get what you're getting at though.
Yeah, no,
Like
because I think there's a better way to frame this than looking at it as exoticism as much as this is like, because like it's not to be among Greeks, it's weird. It's to be among mortals for her is weird. So like
surreality is almost what I want to say.
yeah, that's better. Like her existence should be fucking like can't look at her too long. I mean, she is literally picked by the goddess of beauty to be the like as the top human ever.
Yeah. And like the way they not that they're like super overt with it necessarily, but like the way she's shot, she always catches your attention. Like not just because of her skin tone, but like they always have her dressed really nicely. They always have the lighting right. Like she catches your eye. She's supposed to.
Like I'm sorry to say, I really think that all the feelings on this really come from the fact that we use Western beauty standards and try to apply them in a way that's like gross.
And she's pretty fucking gorgeous even by Western beauty standards too.
Absolutely, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's total bullshit. And again, she has a total of like fucking 3 minutes of screen time, maybe. Or no,
Shouldn't
hers
that be
was like five
funny?
and a half, and then Elliot Page was like another 3-4 minutes.
It's like it's not that deep, but
Yeah, it's whatever. Fucking like if
she doesn't have
if
feathers though. She doesn't have a bill.
yeah, like if none of these fucking monosyllabic chuds brought this up, I wouldn't have noticed it was weird that Helen of Troy was black.
It's not weird that she's black.
It's
It's
not
just a
clearly,
conversation
but
piece.
I wouldn't have noticed she was black. Really, like I would have. I mean, I obviously would have seen her, but I would have just been like, ah, yes, Lupita Nyong'o.
You want to be like, is this something I should actively think about? Because it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, because this isn't the fucking Iliad, and she's a minor character in this one. Of
No
course,
one
now
knows.
I'd be a little curious to see what Nolan would do with the Iliad.
So
I,
that could be cool.
I'm not demanding it, but it would be like, oh, nice little duology.
See, I almost want like. I'm curious how far he's gonna take this.
I
'Cause,
doubt he's
like,
going to go beyond this one movie, but
see, I think he's gonna go to another thing that's tangentially related. And maybe I'm just trying to manifest this into existence.
I
Make
want to say he's one of those directors.
Make the Othello story.
I want to say he's one of those directors who doesn't like doing sequels, but he did 3 Batman movies, so
But the Othello doesn't really have to count as a sequel.
True.
It's kind of like a side story.
Well, Elliot Page's character from the movie is actually, according to Wikipedia, I just found out, is borrowed from the Aeneid.
Yeah,
So-
no, well, I was telling you how like this is literally the oldest shared universe. Like
Yeah,
this is like because it's related to mythology, but it's trying to talk about history. Like it's literally like a shared realistic universe for your stories, which is they didn't have cinema, so I'm avoiding that word here. But like it is the closest thing that we'd have to like the shit we'd have today.
yeah.
Or sometimes, oh, dude, their version of Zeus was played by a different dude is literally a problem you would have. I swear to fucking God.
True.
Oh, tell me I'm fucking lying. Like,
You're not. I can't.
well, see, I was really mad because this Poseidon showed up and he was on a chariot from the water. But if you actually know Poseidon lore, you should know that he's also the god of horses. So I really feel like we're not completely representing his identity correctly. Like, all this shit would happen for 2,000 years and all these fuckers act like this is new. Fuck this. Like, God
Man,
damn.
there really is nothing new under the sun because, like,
There's
they
nothing
still
new
haven't.
under the sun.
I think of like the Hulk. They still haven't fucking put Rick Jones in any of the 1,000 Hulk things they've done. Like, fuck you.
Did I talk to you on or off stream about the weird thing I found out about Greek mythology? Or like the like thing that I was kind of looking into? I haven't gotten to the complete bottom of it yet.
It sounds familiar. Remind me.
The thing about Aphrodite.
Yeah, you did.
Was that on stream?
I don't think so. No.
Well, folks, if you don't mind this detour, Larry, it's up to you.
No, go ahead.
I have heard some rumblings recently, or rather, I've just been reading some shit, and it's kind of interesting because while we're on the subject of Greek mythology, the pantheons don't work the same way that we consider in modern day. They're much more of a, how would you call it, ever changing.
Like a rotating cast.
Yeah, they're very dynamic.
Yeah.
Like a pantheon is something that's living and breathing in the world that you live in. It's not like well, this happened, and this is the state of things. It's like
Greek religion is different from like later religions like that. Like Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all that are mostly based around things that happened in the past and things they think will happen. Whereas like Greek religion was a lot more of like, yeah, Poseidon is around doing shit actively.
Well, you might argue most ancient pantheonic religions were like this, and
Yeah.
monotheism was attempted to be instrumented multiple times through Aten. And then, I mean, obviously, we see how Judaism has been treated for a long time. Just
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, even in
And then you
even in
like
the
see how
fucking
Christians were treated in the age of Rome. They essentially had to conquer the country to make it work, which they did. But
yeah, I mean, even in the fucking movie, they talk about how, like, the Zeus's law. They refer to that throughout the movie. That's just the idea of general hospitality to strangers, but it's not like because it's godly or whatever, the way Christians would say. It's because he might be a god.
see, it's literally you better be nice to anything that ever shows up to your house because unfortunately, whether it's a man, a mouse, or that swan I mentioned earlier, that
Yeah,
thing could be the creator of your entire species in disguise. And if you piss him off by doing anything unreasonable, he will not just kill you. No, 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 no. He's gonna take you and your family. He's gonna turn you all into fucking like animals on some shit. He's gonna transport you to a place where he can like farm you up and fucking torture you and shit. And then he might put you in a fucking cave just because
yeah.
fuck you. Because fuck you. So don't do that and be nice to everyone.
That's why I was talking about this with my grandma the other day because she's all fucking Catholic and shit. Despite my general hatred for religion, I find Pontius Pilate a really like fascinating character, like as in a literary character.
You can get a lot of great literary characters across religion. Listen,
Yeah, exactly.
I just need to implore you. I know that the internet atheist is so deeply embedded within you, but I need to appeal to something.
Okay.
You are a Star Wars fan. You must, on some level, understand that you can have a piece of artwork that has a bunch of cool shit in it that every single person who talks about it nearly ruins by talking about it and having opinions on it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the Bible.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying we don't gotta blame the Bible. We can just blame everyone who sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And that's generally what I do. But anyway, what I was talking about with Pontius Pilate is like a kind of I'm thinking mostly of like the version from Last Temptation of Christ because that's the one I've seen the most. Played by David Bowie of all people.
Nice.
Where in addition to like his conflicted feelings about executing this man he believes to effectively be innocent, the thing that a lot of people forget is that Pontius Pilate is a Roman, and in Roman religion, gods disguising, or demigods in this case, disguising themselves as human beings is a common phenomenon. So part of why he's reluctant to kill Christ is because he's like, according to my religion, it's not that crazy to imagine a god taking human form.
I mean, it's very interesting to note that a lot of pantheonic religions were really cool with Christianity at first. So it's like, oh yeah, cool. You brought your guy. I'll put him up on the wall. And then they go like and they like take his picture and they just like nail it onto a wall that has like 20 pictures on the wall. And they're like, we're
Yeah.
cool, right? I got your guy. And they're like, the fuck you do? And they're like, no, like Christ. Yeah, he's a god. I got him on the wall. Like, him? I got fucking Wotan. I got fucking the fairies. I mean, we know about things here. And they're like, oh, so we're just burning this whole place down. Oh, actually, 3 of those dudes on the wall. I know 3 of those dudes. Take them down, call them saints. Let's call it a day. I'm
I
sorry,
like that
bro.
part of the story. Let's take that page out of the book before we burn it.
Yeah, exactly. I do really like that bit about the flood. Those Babylonians said, "What now? How did he survive? He built a." Oh, I'm right now. Hold on. Now.
Did you know, by the way, speaking of plagiarism, or rather, speaking of making copies, did you know that the first fax machine, obviously a very primitive version, but the first fax machine was developed in like the 1840s?
Yes, and I only
That's
know this because of a
fucking.
very stupid fucking fact.
Abe Lincoln could fax The Last Samurai?
Abe Lincoln could fax The Last Samurai a copy of the latest, was it Mozart, I believe?
Something like that, yeah.
The like latest Mozart sheet music that's just dropped like last week, and like that statement's like a what?
Yeah, the only part of that I didn't know was the fax machine. I knew that Abe Lincoln and The Last Samurai existed at the same time.
So I always knew it because it was funny because you could send a fax of the symphony to the samurai. As stupid as that is.
Anyway, so on the opposite end of the spectrum from religion, we have pornography, right? And we have movies about pornography, such as Boogie Nights. So
this is I didn't say the fun part.
What's that?
Well, because since these gods were transient, Aphrodite herself, they're finding a lot of evidence that her entire existence is from the influx of a cult coming from the area of Persia. And so if you think about this, how would you get there from like approximately Persia?
So like I don't know, via boat?
As in you would come across the ocean, almost spring forth from the ocean like a clam.
Yeah.
And as in like the Aphrodite intro story. And like there's this thought process that the reason they use her for this whole fucking bit about the Trojan War is that she has an invested interest in this area that would be known contextually to the people living there at the time.
That is true.
I just think that's interesting because no one ever brings up Aphrodite in this context. Because fun fact, we'll probably make her not white, buddy, because she came from a different area. But God forbid any of you fucking read. Sorry.
Well, Stavros Halkias has joked before that the only reason Greeks count as white is so that Nazis can take credit for ancient Greece.
I've seen that. That shit cracks me up.
Yeah. So one of my favorite movies since I was like a teenager is Boogie Nights, right?
And you love Boogie Nights.
Well, okay.
Is that picture just him with his cock out?
No. Where's that?
That orange picture.
No, that's a cartoon drawing of the poster.
Is that not his? Oh.
Like he's unzipping it suggestively, but nothing's poking out.
So I misunderstood the Knights part.
So I fully admit that I first learned about this movie for horny reasons.
You were looking up movies with tits and shit?
No, I knew of Heather Graham from Austin Powers. And I was like, oh, she ever got naked in anything? So I used my trusty website, nudography.com. Real website.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Y'all are fucking goners.
Well, actually, this was 2012, so we were fappers. Or cloppers if you were into brony stuff, which I was not, but I knew some people who were. Yes, I see that look of confusion on your face.
Hold on 1 second. Because you're good at tagging comments.
I'm afraid, everybody. I'm afraid of what he's typing. I know it can't be good. These are private, so I can't put them on screen, but I can read them.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. Ah! Fine, read them. Damn it.
People Without Pants does not support the views of Larry on MLP. I don't know what MLP is.
Listen here, you My Little Pony fan. You're out here saying things like cloppers, which is just a word that sent a shiver down my spine. So I just want to throw out here that like you and your weird brony knowledge, I did not expect here.
I unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because the dude himself was a decent guy. But I knew a guy in high school who was a decent dude, but he was really weird for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons he was really fucking weird was that he was like too into My Little Pony.
I feel like any amount of being into My Little Pony is too much into My Little Pony is enough.
Well, there was another guy I knew who liked the Friendship is Magic cartoon, but it wasn't a sex thing. It was just like he liked the cartoon.
Nah, I'm really gonna like stand on business here and call all of you out. Cause like anyone who's like, I like My Little Pony, but it's not a sexual thing at all. I just like the vibe. All right, nigga, why aren't you watching Care Bears?
Well, because they weren't making a Care Bears show in 2012.
They already had a couple.
Um, I think the guy never said this, but the guy I'm thinking of he was from like a Mormon family, so he had like multiple younger siblings, like ones that were relatively close in age, some of them.
He's from a Mormon family, so he totally doesn't have any fucked up, pent up sexual views. Hey, have you ever read Twilight?
Oh, no, don't worry. This dude was a freak. He just wasn't a freak about ponies. But he was a freak. Nice guy though. Anyway, I think what happened was that at some point, like his little sister or whatever was watching My Little Pony, and he got stuck watching it with her, and then he was like, "Oh, the show actually ain't too bad."
Why, bro? Just watch Care Bears.
Maybe he did. I don't fucking know. I didn't go to his house. Anyway, so I used my trusty nudography website when I was 15 to find out, did Heather Graham get naked in anything? And I find out about the movie Boogie Nights, and I'm like, oh shit, she gets like naked. I got to find this fucking movie. And I'd also just heard it was a good movie. So I found it on HBO or wherever, and I watched it. And yes, I got to see Heather Graham naked, but I also got to see one of the best movies ever made in the history of the human race. That happens to feature Heather Graham getting naked.
I'm sure your cock being super hard had nothing to do with this.
No, my cock was hard for the scene where she got naked, and then we get 2 more hours of movie where she's not naked, and I was still enraptured by it.
Because you were still hard.
No. Trust me, if there's one thing I didn't need to worry about back then, it was fucking not losing my wood fast enough. Dude, I was 15. I could make a rise and fall with a thought. I could do what Dennis did in fucking It's Always Sunny, where he can just spontaneously make it grow and shrink.
That's a superpower.
Yeah. Like, I could practically do that when I was that age. I probably still fucking could if I really tried.
And now on camera, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not on camera. That's for the OnlyFans. That's for the OnlyFans subs, and I do mean subs. So anyway, Boogie Nights.
Like, it's a foot long?
Fucking yes, exactly. Boogie Nights is an amazing movie, and for some reason, for like years after seeing it, I never watched any of Paul Thomas Anderson's other movies. So I've been rectifying that. I already talked about Heart 8. Boogie Nights I've talked about before. Fucking masterful movie. I'd never watched it high before, so I did that. That was fun. I noticed a few little new things I'd never noticed before. I get now why it matters that Philip Baker Hall had that small role, because he had like the main role in Heart 8. I was like, oh, he brought back his buddy from the last movie.
What about There Will Be Blood?
I'll get to that. Don't worry.
But what about it?
It's coming up in like a minute. Give it a fucking second.
Those are 2 different denominations of time.
So Boogie Nights is still, I've seen 6 of his 10 movies so far. Boogie Nights is probably still my favorite. My incredibly close second favorite was his follow-up movie, Magnolia, from 1999. Oh my fucking god, did I love this movie so much. Sorry, I thought you were asking something. It's hard to describe what this movie's actually about, because it's like an ensemble cast movie with like 9 main characters,
That's a lot of characters.
Yeah. So they're all connected. Like somebody on Wikipedia has like a fucking flow chart to explain how the characters are all connected to each other.
Jesus Christ.
So like Philip Baker Hall, again, he plays like the host of a game show that, among other things, that pits kids against adults. It's called What Do Kids Know?
Are you smarter than 5th grader?
Except it predates it by 8 years, yes. Oh yeah, by the way, Tom Cruise's character in this movie is Andrew Tate 25 years before Andrew Tate existed.
As in who Andrew Tate was 25 years before Andrew Tate existed?
As in, like, he comes across like a parody of Andrew Tate, even though Andrew Tate was like a teenager when this movie came out.
Shout out Andrew Tate being arrested again.
Oh
Go
yeah,
fuck
that was
yourself,
really
homeboy.
fucking funny.
Go fuck yourself, homeboy. You're getting extradited. Your ass is about to be grass, bro. This ain't
I'm glad I
Romania.
never got
You are
rid of
so
my
fucked.
fucking Prinzen meme because now I can use it again.
Bro, he has caused so many young men in both America and the UK to just become extremist, toxic pieces of shit.
Now imagine that same exact guy if he was actually charismatic, and you have Tom Cruise's character from this movie.
You love Tom Cruise.
No, I actually don't like him very much, but he's great in this. I don't like, well, I like his acting in pretty much everything I see it in. I don't like him as a person because he definitely 100% knows the exact location of Shelley Miscavige's body.
You say that like, no, he doesn't.
He definitely does. He is the prince of Scientology.
Yeah, he's the prince that they keep in the golden rooms and never show the fucking like mountains of abuse to.
I hope you're correct because it makes it easier to stomach his movies.
I just really think he's like the prince in the way that like we all know what's happening. But like if we try saying this to Tom Cruise, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I hope
They
so.
never do that. I've known them for decades. It's like, yeah, they own you.
So, sorry, I lost my train. I took a fucking edible before the show. You can tell.
Oh, you goober.
So, Tom Cruise's character, I won't spoil, but he is related to another character in the movie, or he's connected to another character, I should say. And then we have like Philip Baker Hall as the host of fucking Proto. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? And then we have like, you know, his wife is sort of an ancillary character. One of the other main characters is one of the kids on the game show who's like, you know, he and his team of kids are on this like 28-week winning streak. So they're like global sensations and their lives are totally fucked up now. And then we have the producer of the TV station who's a very old sick man dying of cancer, and like Philip Seymour Hoffman is his fucking hospice nurse. And this is where I hesitate to recommend this movie. Not just to you in particular, but to people in general. So this movie features heavily in two things that you and I are both well known, well versed in. Tumultuous family relationships and caring for elderly dying people.
That's fun.
Yeah, so this is an amazing movie. It is one of the best movies I've ever watched. But if you are not feeling emotionally strong when you turn it on, it will cut open your chest and shit inside your heart.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Not because anything especially sad happens in it. Like, there's no depressing scene of the old man finally fucking choking out his last breaths or whatever. But the scenes with the old man are so gut-wrenchingly emotionally acted that even though nothing sad technically happens in them, you're sobbing by the end. It's amazing.
Did you cry?
No, it wasn't that bad, but it's like if I'd been in a weaker state, I could have. Like if I watched this the day after my grandpa died, I would have been fucking sobbing. But what?
I said that'll get you.
Yeah, I actually I watch a YouTuber named Paul's Ego, who I've mentioned before, and he did a video years ago on his channel called I think it was called Great Movies I'll Never Watch Again. And one of them was Magnolia because he has like a fucked up relationship with his dad. So like all the family stuff in the movie really fucked with him.
Poor guy.
I mean, he has since made amends with his father, but he made this video before he did. So I don't know if it would still, because I still watch him. So I don't know if he'd still have a hard time rewatching Magnolia, but I know that like 8 years ago he would have had a hard time.
I
But
think it's weird how you like know he made up with his dad.
well, I know because his dad has been on his stream before and he like told the whole story. So
Ugh.
it was
Couldn't be
cute
me.
seeing his like 70-year-old fucking retired union guy dad talking about how they make glass bottles.
His dad was in the mafia.
No, he was like a union glass plant guy.
He was in the union. That's what I said.
Well, maybe he met some mafiosos, but he wasn't one of them. I can tell he wasn't because he spurged out for like 30 minutes about how they make glass different colors. It was cool as fuck, actually.
Oh, I'm sure there's no autistic people in the mafia.
Well, I'm sure there are, but I don't think he's one of them. But yeah, like I didn't know that you fucking make glass green by mixing in iron or gold or what, or not gold, iron. Copper. Yeah, that was it. Iron is the other one.
I know things.
Yeah. Anyway, Magnolia's fucking masterpiece. Philip Seymour Hoffman, in his ongoing tradition of doing so, drags his fucking nutsack across the rest of the movie. He is so fucking good in it. What?
Oh, just dragging a nutsack.
So, like, I won't spoil. I'll leave out any details, but so he's the hospice nurse, right?
What about There Will Be Blood?
I will get to There Will Be Blood.
So
Philip Seymour Hoffman is the hospice nurse.
Okay.
And there's this scene where he is ordering their groceries to be delivered, which is really funny because this is 1999, so like DoorDash or anything doesn't exist yet. So he's like kind of puzzled by the idea that he can just place a grocery order over the phone and they'll bring it an hour from now.
Concierges are cool.
Yeah, it is. I forget, like, I don't remember what the logo on the car was, so I don't know if it was a real company or not. Knowing this movie, I wouldn't be shocked if it was. But he's like got the list. Hey, can I get a dozen eggs? And he's again kind of surprised that they're doing this. And then he goes like, "Hey, do you have Playboys at that store?" And you hear like, "Yeah, we do. Can I get one of those? Do you have Penthouse? Yeah, can I get one of those too?" And he like hesitates, and you know what he's gonna say next.
Can I get some lotion?
No, Hustler is the next one he asked for.
Why does he need all three?
Because I won't spoil. He's not buying them to jack off. He's looking for a particular piece of information. He's actually doing something incredibly nice for another person, but we don't know that till later. But
So
yeah, like what?
I said, so what about There Will Be Blood?
So before There Will Be Blood, there's another. Anyway, Magnolia is a fucking masterpiece. Go watch it. Amazing acting
Sounds
from
good.
everybody. It's a 3-hour movie, and you will barely fucking notice because you'll be so enraptured in it. Especially because it changes focus so often that if you get bored with Julianne Moore, you just move on to the next character.
That's as long as the Odyssey.
It's actually longer. The Odyssey is like 2 hours 45, 2 hours 50, maybe.
I thought it was 58.
Maybe it is. With trailers, it was like 3 hours.
You know what's weird?
What?
They call them trailers. They go before the movie. I've never seen a truck with the trailers in front.
Really, they should frankly be called teasers, which the early trailers are. So before I get to There Will Be Blood, there's one other I got to talk about first, which is Punch Drunk Love.
What about There Will Be Blood?
That's next. Punch Drunk Love might be my least favorite so far, but to be clear, I still gave it 5 stars out of 5. I suspect that I didn't enjoy it quite as much as I should have because I watched it on Plex, which means that one, the picture quality wasn't the best because Plex doesn't have like a super fucking high end server. But it also means that I watched Punch Drunk Love occasionally interrupted by fucking boner pill commercials and gambling ads.
No, you're right. That's totally better than piracy.
I thought about doing that, but Plex's picture quality was just a little bit higher than the one I could find, so I was like, I'll just put up with it.
At least you try. That's what matters.
Yeah. No, the only reason I didn't just go straight to the perfectly legal website is because the one I use that has everything I look for, you have to pay to watch it in HD, and I'm not willing to pay.
I really can't wait till the next time we have a weekend because you are just neat. Like you need to learn things.
Yeah, you can show me your favorite places. I just like this one because it has super obscure shit no one else has.
Like what?
Like weird fucking like, oh, I'm trying to find some old like 70s era Hong Kong martial arts movie, but I want it dubbed in its original language, not dubbed into English. And it's like, by God, this fucking website had it.
Is it Pirate Bay? What do you use it?
I shouldn't say, but it has the words look and movie in its name. So you can probably piece together what I'm talking about.
That's not even good piracy. That's just fucking. Ugh.
In terms of its selection, it's the best one I've found. Not in terms of its picture quality or usability, but in terms of how wide a range of shit I can find on there.
Okay, I get that.
Because again, like anyone can find a copy of Star Wars on a piracy site. It takes like a lot of fucking variety to have like Sister Street Fighter or some fucking 70s kung fu shit. Specifically not in its English dub. That was the part that was hard to find because I can't stand watching English dubs of live action stuff.
See, if you had the good shit, you'd have the file with multiple audio tracks inlaid.
This one actually does have that. That's part of why I like this fucking site. In fact, that's the site I told you about when I watched Spermageddon and the subtitles actually explained one of the puns because it only works in the original language.
That's correct.
Now, that was cool, though, like, because I wouldn't have gotten the joke if they hadn't explained it in little parentheses at the bottom. Anyway, despite being occasionally interrupted by fucking gambling and boner pill ads, Punch Drunk Love is fantastic. Have you seen it, ever?
No.
So it's got Adam Sandler in it. Picture if an Adam Sandler protagonist was transplanted into the real world.
I just have such a hard time trusting Adam Sandler after what he did to me.
What thing are you referring to?
Making one of the most anxiety-laden movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, so this movie, people joke, was like the dry run of Uncut Gems, both because of how dramatic it is, and also because it's Adam Sandler in a serious role proving he can actually act.
I had a feeling this is where we're going. I'm just saying, whenever, like, watching Uncut Gems, I scream at the fucking TV like a 50-year-old watching the Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah.
Because I cannot stand any of the decisions made in that movie.
I get that a lot with some of these movies. You get a bit of it in Punch Drunk Love, but he's not as fucking... Well, I haven't seen Uncut Gems, but from what I know of it, he is extremely reckless, but cognitively speaking is like relatively together, right?
So think about the most functioning alcoholic you ever can.
Yeah, okay, that's what I...
And then transplant gambling into the alcoholic thing.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Because in Punch Drunk Love, it's kind of the opposite. He doesn't have any super bad habits that are fucking up his life, but what he does have is serious emotional regulation issues that, like, mostly manifest as outbursts of explosive anger. But they also manifest in, like, a real social awkwardness around other people. Like, he's clearly got, like, something up with him cognitively, like some kind of emotional, like, mood disorder or whatever. But it clearly isn't diagnosed. And he grew up, as we find out quickly in the movie, he grew up the youngest of 8 children, all of whom except him were sisters.
You
So
think
I think
he's
he was the youngest.
regulating his emotions?
Yeah, so like because there's a whole like they invite him to this dinner party and they're all like basically talking about him even though he's right there amongst themselves and like retelling stories about him that are really fucking embarrassing and like being really kind of dickish to him. And he calmly walks out of the kitchen as they're all sitting down at the dining room table, and suddenly they hear a crash, and he's just like smashing the fuck out of every single window in like an explosive rage, and then just calmly walks out.
Hmm.
So like he's got issues, is my point.
Man's got some
Um,
issues.
but yeah, he falls in love with the one of his sisters, one of the ones who doesn't treat him like shit.
He falls in love with
Tries
his sister.
No, he doesn't fall in love with one of his sisters. He falls in love with her coworker. She'd been looking for an excuse to introduce him to her coworker, and it turns out he met her coworker by accident without knowing that. So he falls in love with her, gets embroiled in like a phone sex scam that he has to get involved in. He's trying to build up his business. Philip Seymour Hoffman is in there, of course. I'm just giving you very general stuff because I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the movie.
Is there? So, question:
Yes.
when he hits all those windows, does he cut himself?
Probably, but it's not like the scene is pretty quick, so it's not super clear.
Okay, I'm just saying. I would assume there will be blood.
Yes, I know. I'm getting to There Will Be Blood. He does several times throughout the movie injure his hand punching objects in a fit of rage, so, you know,
There was blood.
probably, yeah. They're not all sharp objects. At one point, he fucks up like a bathroom door that's metal, so it more just like bruises his hand than anything.
That's not good.
But yeah, it's amazingly shot, amazingly acted.
What
Interesting.
kind of food does he eat?
What?
What kind of food does he eat?
Uh, there wasn't anything super specific.
No food. See me? I'm not much for the grilled stuff. I
You're
like
an
it
oil
fried.
man.
And you might say I'm an oil man.
I'm
It's
an
interesting.
oil man. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I was dying. I was fucking dying.
Anyway, yeah, this Punch Drunk Love is fucking awesome. There's actually near the beginning when we first see his apartment. I'm not going to show it because there's just no fucking point. But I am almost 100% certain that wherever they got the coffee or the dining room table for that apartment is from the same company that made my grandma's dresser. Because it has like the exact same design shape.
They be using props like that. I recently saw how a guy found the exact decanter from the Mandalorian because it is actually a bottle of the CW Tower or CM Tower.
Well, you know those like storage things they carry around
Yeah.
in Mando, the white things.
Yes.
I think they call them Camtanos or something. That's based on a background prop from Empire Strikes Back that was just an ice cream machine. Because they needed one of the guys running in the background to be holding something that looked high tech, so they found an ice cream machine that had like an interesting design. And they were like, oh, if he holds it at this angle, it won't be so obvious that it's an ice cream machine. But that guy, because everything in fucking Star Wars becomes like a big deal, that character now has like a name and a backstory and shit.
Oh God.
Yeah, so like Mando, that was actually one of the signs they were real Star Wars fans, was that they took that ice cream machine and made it into like a practical thing in Mando.
Fucking nerds.
I know. Anyway, so the thing I was going to say about Punch Drunk Love, so Magnolia was 3 hours long. I don't know if he wanted to do this as a challenge, but Anderson after that was like, all right, my next movie is only going to be 90 minutes. And Punch Drunk Love is like 95 minutes. That's nuts for a director where most of his movies are like 2 hours 20 or more.
You want to stretch a bit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a great movie. It wouldn't be better if it were longer. It's just that like every other movie this director makes is like over 2 hours.
True.
But it was interesting. So now we'll get to the fucking part you want to talk about so badly. So yes, I watched There Will Be Blood, and I got to watch it with no commercials and in actual proper HD. Thank you, Paramount Plus.
And how did it feel?
It was really fucking good. It was really fucking good. It's probably my fourth favorite of his filmography so far.
That's crazy.
Well, that's the thing. When his fourth favorite is still a perfect rating movie on my Letterboxd.
But I don't. I mean, I gotta double check these other ones, but it's so good.
It is. It's fucking great. It's just that he's made others that are even better.
I don't know. Could
But
you?
yeah, There Will Be Blood would be any other director's best movie by far. But when you're Paul Thomas Anderson, it's not even in the top three.
Tripping.
I don't know. I love Boogie Nights, I loved Hard Eight, and I love Magnolia. Those are my three favorites so far.
I mean, just the visuals, man. Like, are you telling me the Hard Eight and Magnolia had like better visuals?
Some of them were, yeah. Magnolia in particular has one sequence that's completely fucking insane that I won't spoil.
Fair.
Actually, Punch Drunk Love has a little bit of it too, not because they shoot something crazy, but because they have like this little color wavy kaleidoscope effect, like under the opening title, that really looks a lot like the stars you see when you've been punched too hard.
Huh.
Like it actually almost gave me a headache because it looked too much like that.
Is he a boxer?
No, but like that's what my assumption was too, was that he was like an amateur boxer. No, he just has an explosive temper and has gotten himself into trouble with it before.
It's just such a weird name for a movie that doesn't involve a boxer.
It really, yeah, it is a weird name for a movie, but it works, man. Yeah, so There Will Be Blood had some amazing visuals. You're probably thinking specifically of the burning fuel tower.
Yes, I am.
There, do I have the fucking? Hang on.
Oh God, I could come.
Why?
Just off that scene, bro.
Oh yeah, hang on. I want to pull up one of the photos that I took of it. So you know how I always bitch that there was that brief period where like every fucking movie had the hideous color grading in the late 2000s?
Yes.
So the highlight of that era, or the I guess I'll say the nadir of that era, was 2007. And like I always joke, every movie from 2007 only has two colors, blue and orange. If this will actually fucking load, I'll bring up a picture I took of the flaming tower, because that is how you use blue and orange in a movie from 2007.
So in other words, not every movie from 2007 is only blue and orange?
Apparently not. I thought they all were, but I guess I found the two that weren't. No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood.
At the top.
Are you seriously gonna fucking do this to me, Messenger?
At the top.
You fucking dick. Come
At the
on.
top.
Media.
Huh.
I'm plugged into hardwired fucking internet. You're telling me that you can't load up a couple JPEGs? Fuck you. Okay, I'll just wait.
Wow. That's racist.
Why is it racist?
Why isn't it racist?
True. Let me see if I can find it online instead. Because there's the particular shot I took is one of the ones that no one ever takes.
What scenes though?
Well, the scene with the burning tower, but like the particular still I took. Because everyone uses the ones when it's still burning in like the relative daylight. But I'm trying to find the one when it's like when the sun's gone down and it's still burning.
Oh, so good. Oh my god.
This isn't. I guess this will do.
That'll do, donkey. Yeah, that's the one I always think of.
Yeah, like with the blue from the night, the setting sun contrasting. Oh god, it's so good.
The power.
And of course, I've abandoned my child. That whole scene. Um, the end, the bowling alley. I'm finished.
I'm finished.
Now, let me ask you this: Am I crazy, or when you first watched the movie, did you think there was going to be a twist that there is no twin brother of Eli?
I definitely think it's supposed to play with you on that idea. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we never see Paul and Eli Sunday together. So I thought the twist at the end was going to be that there is no Paul.
I definitely was kind of thinking about it, and then I realized it's better that both of these entities can exist and can be so like flip of coin.
Yeah, because
I didn't definitively know for sure, but like I the first time I was just like, what are you doing with this?
Yeah, I was expecting a reverse The Prestige. Especially because, the father never seems to be, worried about Paul's absence either.
Speaking of Nolan and David Bowie, the fucking Prestige.
The Prestige is probably my favorite Nolan film.
I haven't watched it in so long, and now I want to rewatch the Prestige.
It's so good.
See, all right, folks. How many years has it been since the Prestige came out?
20, actually. This year's the 20th anniversary.
Oh, okay. So we're totally good about the ending
Spoilers.
of the Prestige. Yeah,
yeah.
If you haven't seen the Prestige at this point, it is your fault.
Yeah, the thing at the end with the Christian's bail.
Every time you do that, it cracks me up.
Oh, I say that all the time. I'll Michael
I know,
Jordan.
and it cracks me up every time. Because it works. It's just you're the only person who uses that correct form of grammar, but it's really funny.
Yeah, where did I pick that up from? Did I come up with that on my own, or did I fucking steal that from someone?
Funny. Because you're not wrong. It's just technically it's funny because of it.
I know Daily Show once said Michael's Jordan, but I can't remember if that was before or after I started saying Michael's Jordan.
Michael's Jordan is crazy.
But yeah, the two Pauls Dano in this movie are both great.
Oh my god, I love the Pauls Dano.
As Honest Trailers, because I rewatched the Honest Trailer after watching the movie, as they pointed out, it's an excellent movie when Paul Dano is both in it and getting the shit beat out of him.
That's true.
What are some of the things that I noted in that movie? I did note that when the tower burns, Daniel's first instinct. Now, granted, he might not have known that HW was there, but it is telling that his first instinct was the fuel and not his son.
Yeah, that. I think even when you start that movie, it is clear. It is all about the incessant hunger, madness that consumes you when it comes to this fucking anything around this business.
Which is especially nuts because he's already not the literal beginning, but starting in what is initially the present. He's already fucking rich.
He's already an oil man.
I did the math on this. He says that the 2 or 3 he has existing wells are bringing in $5,000 a week. I did the math. Adjusting $5,000 from 1911 to modern money is $180K every week.
Oh, he's making bank. It's just funny because if you also add in the context if he's in a rich man's war.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. To the other rich guys, he may not look very impressive, but
yeah, to the other rich guys, that's fish.
Yeah, which I never understood that. If I was making that much fucking money every week, I wouldn't give one single shit what other rich people thought of me.
If it's just useless rich people, sure. If it's old school Rockefeller ass oil baron rich people, no, they're gonna infiltrate and take me.
That is true. Yeah, back then people got rich from
Different.
actually doing things.
Yeah, no, like they are rich from work. I'm not fucking with these rich people, dude. Like their
Yeah.
grandkids, yeah, I'll fucking dance, like I'll fucking tap dance on their parties. But like these people will fuck you up.
Now let me ask you this: how genuine do you think his care for HW was?
Yes, not in the way you think.
I might agree. Elaborate.
His care for HW is real in that it's an extension of himself. It's a legacy growth. It's a power thing. HW is the necessary cog tool to achieve that, and thus he is valued and important. But from like the way that I think you're asking me about, like, does he care about HW? HW, he doesn't care about this HW. He cares about having an HW.
I honestly, I agree. I kind of think that at the beginning, or the relative beginning, I should say, his care for him was genuine. I'll put it this way: he loved HW when it was easy to.
Sure, but is that really love, or
Well,
is that
that's the
just
question. Is
infatuation?
well, that basically what we're debating is at what point in the movie did he decide he doesn't give a shit about his son anymore?
I think the injury is when he realized,
Yeah.
and you start going,
Now, granted, this is like 1912, so I'm not expecting super advanced medicine, but I do notice that like his attempts to care for his son in the immediate aftermath leave quite a bit to be desired.
I wonder just if that's like what he thinks is best type shit.
Well, yeah, but even I'm saying like the doctors too. Like even the doctors aren't handling it particularly well.
Well, they're dog shit doctors.
Well, yeah, it is 1911, so I'm not expecting much of them, but like just for practical reasons alone, I expected Daniel to very quickly like grab a notepad and a pencil and say, "Here, son, write down what you're trying to say." Instead, he pretty much just like sits around and waits for him to regain his hearing, which he doesn't.
How do I put this? Common sense is like a societal thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that thought process really resonated with them because they're dumb.
Well, yeah, true. It's just I expected that like he'd like fuck the business or whatever. I figured he'd just get frustrated with his son not understanding what he's saying and like start writing.
Did you say fuck the business?
Yeah.
That sounds like a Pinkerton ass statement.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't even mean fuck the business. I just meant regardless of the business, even before we get there. Yeah, I
Did you say something that's not in regard of the business?
know. I did like that whole. First of all, I like that they cast an actual fucking deaf guy as the adult version of his son. Like, good on them for being woke in 2007.
I don't like using that word.
I know, but I just but like that whole. It's a really weird move to like flash forward 16 years in the last 35 minutes of the movie, but goddamn, did they make it fucking work?
It's nice to see little snapshots of the future.
Yeah, and then he fucking spoilers for the 20-year-old movie. Fucking beats Paul Dano's head in with uh a bowling pin.
Right now,
True. For really like no reason too. Like they have this decades long antagonism for basically no reason. Like it's just egos clashing with those two. It's really fucking depressing, honestly.
it's the little things that boil over.
Yeah.
Sometimes, anyway.
And then lastly, and I say lastly both because it's the most recent one I've watched and because I badly have to piss. Last night I watched his 2012 movie, The Master. Have you seen this one?
The master. Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him.
I didn't either till I found it. But so
Joaquin Phoenix joins a cult.
yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. First of all, I see why they wanted him for the role of the Joker because the beginning of this movie is somewhat similar to the beginning of
I
Joker.
very much felt like they cast him based off this.
Yeah, it's not completely one to one, especially as the movie goes on, but the beginning is like similar.
I could just see how they got the vibe.
Yeah. Um, the way I described this to my friend was the plot of this movie is imagine a guy who was too crazy for Scientology.
What do you mean by that?
So I'm sure you don't need to be informed of this. The movie, for those of you who don't know, Joaquin Phoenix plays a World War II Navy veteran with like undiagnosed PTSD. Fucking, he's obsessed with sex. He has a real hard time holding down a job or navigating with normal people. And he winds up joining this weird little movement, by which I mean cult, led by Philip Seymour Hoffman. I
It's
don't
not
think,
Scientology. It's not Scientology. I just want to actually go on the record just based off what Larry said. This is in no way critical of Scientology.
yes, it
If
is
I did that,
definitely
I
not
wouldn't
heavily
show up.
based. It is definitely not heavily based on Scientology.
Listen, it's totally not talking about the Sea Organization, which was a thing run by L. Ron Hubbard, in which he essentially hung out with a bunch of adolescents on a boat and avoided the FBI and paying taxes.
Yeah.
That allegedly has nothing to do with this movie.
Well, apparently Anderson did show this to Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is, of course, a Scientologist, but he's also Paul Thomas Anderson's friend. So he was like, all right, I'm going to show it to him. If it's actually like scandalous, he'll let me know. And the answer was he had some criticisms of it, but Anderson just released it anyway. Like he said, it's a thing between us, but we're still friends. I think that was how he described it.
Because it's not literally Elron.
Yeah,
You
no, it's
have to
just
know things
very.
about Elron.
Yeah, it's just very obviously based on Elron.
Said before, say it again. L. Ron Hubbard, so fucking cool, dude. I'm sorry.
He's fascinating.
No, he's cool as shit.
In a way.
Dude, okay, listen. When you start as a sci-fi writer, and then you're just like, I'm not a sci-fi writer, guys. I just know stuff. And then you can start writing essentially like a spiritualism guide that like turns into a give me your money on like page 5 and it works. And then you're like, also, I want to live on a boat now. Also, I don't want to pay my taxes. Also, I want to kind of be a modern day pirate. Also, I want to run a bunch of like people doing like an information organization and like infiltrate the government. And also, I somehow have like kind of convinced myself that I like was telling the truth, and so now I'm like borderline crazy, but I'm still writing sci-fi, and I'm kind of good at writing the sci-fi, so like I can just pump this shit out. And also, finally, I have taken over multiple fucking cities with nothing but sheer will and telling a group of people to their face I was gonna do it. That's cool as shit.
That is kind of what he did.
Dude, he walked into Clearwater, went to their fucking like city meetings, and was like, "So, we're coming," and then left. I'm sorry, that's cool as shit. That's baller as fuck. Like,
so one of the things I really liked about this movie is to some extent they were playing on your familiarity with Scientology because there's certain shit they just don't explain and it's up to you to figure out what they mean.
That's because you got the tech.
Yeah, like like when we first meet all the members of the family, Amy Adams, they don't explicitly say this, but Amy Adams is way too fucking young to be the mother of his 2 oldest children. Which means that she's his new wife. Like, she says something about ex-wives come after him, which kind of implies that, like, he has a tumultuous history with women, and And then something I noticed at the end. So Amy Adams has like the little girl with her most of the movie. I'm assuming that's her and Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid. And then at the end of the movie, when he comes back, he says, "Where's Elizabeth?" And she says, "DCF." And at first I thought, "Oh, DCF took the little girl away." But then I remembered, wait a minute, no, Elizabeth's not the little girl. She's the adult daughter who's also not there. So DCF, like, what do Scientologists call it? Like suppressive persons or something? Yeah, so DCF presumably stands for like don't contact family or like
Discontinued familiarity would be my go-to.
yeah, something like that. But they never explain it. You have to like sit there and figure it out. I also like that. First of all, Todd from Breaking Bad is in it before he was Todd from Breaking Bad, or I guess around the same time. Which that's delightful. It's also really delightful that like early on he doesn't give the single slightest fuck about not Scientology, and then at the end of the movie he's like a high-ranking church elder. Like he just decided to commit.
Dog, anytime I see Jesse Plemons, I'm just like, I don't trust you.
Which is funny because in most of his roles he's relatively trustworthy. It's
Like,
just that he's had a
so
couple
good.
high-profile ones where he wasn't.
Listen, I mean this is such a compliment. I cannot erase the blank, non-caring, doll-like expression that he had when he was like, "Hey, bud," and then just fucking shot that kid in the fucking head, dog. I did.
Well, okay, so you say like blank, emotionless doll like. Clearly, doing that took a toll on Todd's mental health. And here's
No,
why.
it didn't.
No, here's why. I have evidence of it. So,
Please tell me that this is not the weight joke thing.
I was going to point out the fact that during the flashback scenes in El Camino, he's way fatter, even though it takes place between
like,
two
this is
scenes
gonna
where
be the
he's not
fucking
fat.
weight joke from El Camino again. I swear to God.
Like, yeah, I was going to say it took a toll on his health because he gained 60 pounds and then lost it.
I was so ready for this exact fucking, yeah, I know where we're going. Todd got fat. Listen, like, I am so cool. Like, just, what do you fucking call it?
Suspending your disbelief.
Thank you. I was like, I fucking knew you had the words, but like, I'm so cool doing that because I'll be real, dude. I don't want him fucking torturing his body to play Todd Alquist.
Well, you could always do the whole, well, the flashback isn't entirely accurate because it's filtered through the lens of Jesse's memory, and Jesse would view him as fat and slovenly because he's eating every day and Jesse isn't. Like, you know, you can do that kind of bullshit.
Honestly, like, I think it just kind of works where he's just a little uglier. He's so clearly Todd. He's just a little uglier.
I mean, even Walt's head is a little fucked up in that one scene because he couldn't shave his head because the paparazzi would immediately know it was up, so he's in a bald cap instead. So his head does look a little like bigger than it should, but whatever.
That shit is kind of funny. Now that you bring that up, I forgot about that.
It's only from like one or two angles. It's mostly not noticeable.
Dog, they did they have another scene with Mike in that movie, or was it just replaying the old one?
With Mike specifically, I don't think so.
Where like Mike's talking about, oh, I asked a kid.
Yeah, I think they just played the old one. But I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen it since it came out. So
I rewatched it like a couple months ago. I want to say. It's
on a similar note to your thing about Jesse Plemons, that's how I feel about Colm Feore.
Where do I know him from?
A bunch of shit. I don't know why the fuck that's what's listed for him because none of that is his famous shit.
Yeah, he would be IMDb like a reasonable human being.
Well, this is Wikipedia, but yeah.
Yeah, no, hit me with the IMDb so it shows me the big ones.
Okay. Comfior.
See? Easy.
None of this is what I know him from, but
Damn it.
I know him from, well, a few things, but he had a small role in, I think, the second Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie.
I did like him as Hargreaves.
Yeah, that was it. Well, I used to joke, oh man, bad shit happens when Colm Feore shows up, because he just tends to play villains. What was it Revolution he was in? Yeah, here it is. Here's his role in.
Are we talking about the No Electricity show?
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I didn't remember that being his character's name, but yeah, he was in Revolution.
Who is he? Like, what does he do?
Randall Flynn. Here, let me take it off screen.
Man, that show really had such a good idea to go nowhere, huh?
Yeah, especially because it got canceled, it got kind of fucked over. But my god, that show had one of my favorite fictional worlds.
I feel like it had big potential, but I just
Yeah, exactly. The world it took place in, I loved.
well, I like the idea when they pitch the world, but the more I see it, the more I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah, some of that
The
got cleared
moment,
up by the show.
the fucking moment I see that lady just living in a fucking house and she throws a USB on, I'm like, you bitch. Oh, fuck this. Fuck this.
Wait, what do you mean throws a USB on?
Like, like it's like it's like where they have like end scene and like she like turns on a computer and like it like plugs into USB and like it like works.
Oh
And
yeah,
like
they made another season of the show after that to clear that up. You know that, right?
yeah, I do. But what I'm saying is once I hit that point, I was like, this is really annoying me as a concept. Cause like, well, you see, we EMP'd the world, but we just got fucking anti-EMP thumb drive. Shut the fuck up. Like this is dumb.
Yeah, well,
This is
you know.
dumb.
Randall
Bro,
Flynn,
I
he was the
get it.
villain of season one. Yeah, that is not the character I remembered him playing, but that's a different character.
I remember him.
This show was created by the same guy as Supernatural.
Huh.
Honestly, you can tell because the characters talk very much like the characters in Supernatural talk.
Is that how they talk in Supernatural? Jesus.
It's not Supernatural's better written in general, but like just that whole kind of like sarcastic pop culture laden dialogue. Like that's just how Eric Kripke writes. It's the same reason The Boys. Everyone fucking talks like that in The Boys.
The boys.
It's a little more defensible with Supernatural because one, it's better written, and two, it's mostly just following the same couple characters. So those couple characters always talking like that makes a lot more sense.
It's not, I don't know, the mute girl just suddenly talking like a fucking TikTok.
At least that they threw in a joke to make it like semi plausible.
Is it though?
I didn't say it was good, but at least it like somewhat makes sense.
Does it though?
But anyway, what I was getting at was Supernatural has actually referenced Revolution a few times.
How?
So when we finally meet God,
Isn't his name Bob?
Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Which that was a fan theory for like years that Chuck, the guy we already knew, was secretly God the whole time.
Did they like? Do you think it was originally written that way?
I doubt it was a foreign concept to them when they wrote him.
It does remind me of in Naruto. There's this one character named Toby who always wears a mask, and he later turns out to be this guy named Obito. And like, wow, you obviously could put the two things together. There was like 10 years where people didn't know, and it was like speculated. And like a lot of people like to think that the internet essentially bullied the creator into changing his original idea because this idea was better.
Maybe. But yeah, so we meet Chuck
It's
in
one of
like
those.
well, we meet Chuck in like season 4 or 5, and they meet him because they discover that there are books based on them.
Yeah.
And like the first fucking supernatural in book series novel was called like The Road So Far or whatever the title of the pilot was.
That's
And
fine.
so they find out about this. They're like flipping through these books. He's like, dude, they fucking this is our lives, and like they know shit that they shouldn't know, like stuff that we didn't tell other people, stuff that we didn't even tell each other. Like this book knows shit I only thought about. So
That's hard.
they track down the author, and the author turns out to be a prophet of God. Like he basically gets like visions slash dreams slash ideas of like stories to write, not knowing that they're actual events happening somewhere on Earth.
I I know what I'm about to do is a really pointless gesture, but
Okay.
I'm gonna try it anyway. A prophet of God? Like I don't understand the supernatural universe in that there's like one God.
There is and there isn't. Um, Basically every myth is true in Supernatural.
Supernatural just feels like it should have a mythology system more similar to American Gods.
It it kind of does, but like for I don't want to say for dummies, but like for a network TV audience.
Listen, even American Gods did one of the funniest fucking bits on the TV show, and I still love this. Where like, don't forget, you'd have like 20 Jesuses showing up to the convention, and they're all like slightly different races, and then one's pointing at you like this, and like, because
Yeah,
like,
they actually don't really do much Jesus stuff with Supernatural. When they talk about God and the devil, they restrict it to a more like generic kind of a like semi-Abrahamic but fairly neutral.
boo, that's no, that's just I'm doing the thing when I'm acting like I'm being neutral. The
Kind of,
devil
yeah.
is not neutral when you have the devil.
I mean, granted, there are several religions that have basically the same devil, but
Not really.
I mean, Islam has the devil, and he's like pretty
Oh,
similar.
you mean the thing with the jinn and the diamonds and like a bunch of different complicated entities and shit?
Yeah, well,
And you like mean with the more complicated angel system and like I'm just saying if we're like that is a can of worms that is not as shallow as people think.
Supernatural intentionally plays fast and loose with existing mythology.
Boo! Give me American Gods. Boo!
Well, it depends. So some monsters they stick with the mythology, some they purposefully break it. So like when they introduce vampires, they explicitly start because like they thought vampires didn't were extinct when they find out about them. And so like as far as they knew, vampires had been extinct for like centuries, so they don't have any fucking clue how to kill one. And their dad shows up and he discovers that there's this little clan of vampires that's still alive.
Is Supernatural the one that has like you like just hit that motherfucker with like a big car and you're like they didn't have those the last time we tried or whatever?
No, that was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it was with a javelin missile.
Yeah. But you like knew what I
Yeah.
meant. Where like they just didn't have those, so you
No,
can't say
so
oh no
like with
weapons.
vampires, when John is telling them about the vampires, the first thing he says is most vampire lore is crap. They can walk out in the sunlight just fine. Wooden stakes don't work. Crosses don't work.
Can they
Holy
walk on water?
water. What?
Can they walk on water?
No, I don't think
Wow.
so. But like, so for vampires, in fact, they don't even have like the fangs we picture. They just have like a second row of teeth. Um, in fact, getting bitten by a vampire doesn't turn you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is one of the most interesting parts of vampire lore that people don't understand conceptually. Because like, no shit. If everything that got bit got turned, you couldn't feed.
Well, yeah. Um, like getting bitten by vampires just like happens occasionally in fights, and it's treated as like a minor injury.
Shit happens.
Yeah, like super. So like with vampires, they kind of intentionally played fast and loose with the lore. With some of the others, they stuck closer to the script, so to speak. Anyway, the whole reason I'm talking about Supernatural is because in the episode where they finally confirm that Chuck is God from like season 12 or whatever,
Yeah.
He's called Metatron to meet him.
But that's the voice of God, not
Well, it's the
actually.
scribe of God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
is, well, he's the voice of God in the sense that he is God's emissary on Earth, but in terms of
Yeah,
his
no, he's the
actual,
mouthpiece of God because you cannot literally talk to God because to talk to God is okay. Kevin Smith weirdly kind of did it right. Like if you've seen Dogma,
yeah,
where like
they
that
do that
shit.
actually. When they introduce angels, they do that. Angels can't you can't converse directly with an angel unless they're possessing a human host.
Oh, that's just lame.
Why?
Because I want to see angels show like my favorite part of angel lore is like I want you to imagine right now that like you got dressed up in your best, like the best cosplay that you could afford by selling all of your Legos. Like
Tragic, but
best
okay.
possible cosplay. And then I want you to imagine that you got time traveled back to fucking the year like 1200 to the middle of a fucking field. And the first thing that would come out your mouth as you see a human being will be like, no, 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 wait, hold on, no, 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 wait, 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 I can explain. No, 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 wait, 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 chill out, I can explain. And that's the best part of Angel Lore is the first 5 minutes of them showing up and being like, no, 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 it's okay, no, 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 stop it.
Well, I assume they did this in part for budgetary reasons, but they were stylistic with it, so I forgive it. The angels don't so much literally have wings on their backs, it's more that they can teleport.
Wait, they're people?
Well, no, they possess human beings in order to, like, be on Earth.
Yeah, so where's my fucking like wheels of fucking flaming chariots and eyes collapsing in on themselves on
It's a
fire?
network TV show, dude. They're not going to have the budget for that shit.
I don't like that.
Um, yeah, like actually, you see it a lot with Castiel, just because he's the angel we see the most of. When he teleports away, it's accompanied by a little like wing fluttering sound effect. It's actually pretty cool. It's a cool way to do angels on a budget.
Boo.
But anyway, when they reveal that Chuck is God, he calls Metatron because he wants Metatron's thoughts on his new book, which is like the new supernatural book or whatever. But in
Okay.
that scene, he goes, I've got other ideas bouncing around my head too. I've got this one called Revolution I'm working on, but I'm not sure it's going anywhere. Because, like, you
That
know,
is funny, but I hate the fact that they're like, we have God and Metatron, and these guys just talk to God. I don't know, dude.
well, keep
So,
in mind, Metatron hails from before God decided to make a life on Earth. So when he decided to make a life on Earth, he essentially, like, partially depowered himself in order to interact with human beings.
okay, now I'm sorry, but I'll just call a spade a spade. Uh there's about 2,000 years of Christians arguing over the idea of mortal divinity and the separation of it because it's kind of a fucking silly idea compared to everything we talk about with spirituality.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's network TV. What are you going to do? Oh,
Um,
they also, a couple times over the years, Supernatural tried and failed to do spin off shows.
like what?
Well, they never got made. They exist
Oh,
as
okay.
backdoor pilots in the show. Like there's an episode called Bloodlines where they go to Chicago and they kind of get involved in like a conflict between the different monster mafias in Chicago.
Isn't there already like isn't there a whole vampire franchise essentially about what you're talking about?
You mean Vampire Diaries?
No, something.
True Blood?
Uh, one of them's like the Eternals or the Immortals.
Yeah, I maybe that's why it didn't get picked up. But there's an
I mean,
episode where the main characters go to Chicago and we find out there's like a whole monster criminal underworld operating in Chicago with like the vampire mafia and the werewolf mafia
yeah,
and
this
like
is
they have
definitely
turf
a thing.
wars and shit. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said this is definitely a thing already.
Yeah, so at the end of that episode, the guy they team up with stays behind and like pledges himself to fight the monster mafias and shit. But because the spinoff didn't get picked up, now it's just a random episode of Supernatural. And the same thing happened a few years later. They wanted to do one called Wayward Sisters that was about like one of the supporting characters. That also didn't get picked up. But they near the end of the show when God is given his big villain speech, he references that. He's like, "No, I'm done with changing the history and with failed spin-offs and rewriting the script. I want it my way." Like
I just
they finally got a spin-off that then got canceled after one season.
Supernatural feels like Percy Jackson for Bible lovers.
I wouldn't say Bible lovers because it actually doesn't delve into biblical shit until like well into the run, and it does so with kind of a snide attitude.
You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
yeah, not a snide attitude, but very much with an attitude of like the main characters would be morally correct to kill God.
That's kind of how Percy Jackson approaches fucking Greek mythology.
Kinda. They do delve into that at times, because that's the thing. All myths are true. So like, yeah, fucking Poseidon and shit makes an appearance every so often.
See, that doesn't work if all myths are true.
Why?
Because simultaneously, Medusa seduced Poseidon and he raped her.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't get into that sort of thing. When I say all myths, I don't mean literally every version is true. I mean they're all based on something real. So the accuracy level varies, but like there is a Zeus.
So, in other words, we're taking IP from everything we want and we're just going to kind of give it as much credence as we need for our story. And when I just want to change this 1,000-year-old character, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yes.
That's just Percy Jackson and shit.
They predate Percy Jackson a little bit, yeah.
Oh, sure. I don't think that. Are you sure?
Maybe not the book, maybe not like the first book, but they definitely predate the movies and everything.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm talking the books, though.
Let me find out when the first one came out, because it would have been like roughly around the same time. Yeah, same year. The first book came out the same year Supernatural premiered.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's just that same year of like, we don't respect mythology. We just view these as fucking tools to fuck
Well,
with.
Supernatural is more explicit with its we don't respect mythology, or not mythology, but like almost, I want to say religion, because Dean starts off as a bit of a Reddit atheist.
I just mean Percy Jackson acts like it cares about stories, but then will like change tones and things to suit its own means at any fucking go.
Oh no, Supernatural is very much of the tone of like these powerful beings are dangerous and we human beings have the right to kill them as a result. Now, granted, that's a much more defensible position when almost all species of monster survive by feasting on humans in one way or another.
But that's all right. I've got the power of God and anime on my side.
Well, they do like even, and yes, I get the reference.
Classic.
Even in season one, they do like late season one, they do introduce us to a group of vampires who subsist on cow's blood so they don't have to hurt people.
Oh, I've never heard that trope before.
I'm not saying it's original. I'm just saying that like it didn't take long for the show to say, well, wait, why do these guys have the right to kill all the monsters? Why don't the monsters get to live? And the answer is they do if they don't hurt people.
I mean, that's such a fucking weird human elitist form of thought.
Well, yeah, but and the show, like as it goes on, does question that thought at times, but that's their initial starting position on the issue.
Have you seen Castlevania?
No, actually.
Okay, we're up to 3 shows at this point. I don't think I'd be an asshole to ask you to watch the first season of the first Castlevania show.
I will get to it at some point.
My God, dude, you're also gonna get to fucking like, goddamn, having your balls hit your knees. But like, I don't know how long it's gonna take for either of these things to happen.
Who knows? What was I about to tell you that was funny from that show? Not Castlevania, the other one.
Well, you should watch Castlevania, damn it.
Oh yeah. Somewhat later on, they meet a character and meet and befriend a character named Benny, who's a vampire. But he's a like they jokingly call them vegetarian vampires, meaning vampires who don't hunt people. Why are you booing just the concept of that?
Because it's just like Supernatural just feels like you take a bunch of like, I hate to have to use the word again, supernatural entities and like spiritual hokum and like anything that you can essentially like play off as like not being owned by a specific person, and you put it in a fucking blender and then you make like mid CW ass stories with it.
I would push back on one part, which is I wouldn't call it mid. Some episodes are, but certainly by CW standards, it's fucking fine art.
I'd say mid by the myth and fantasy standards of the characters they're taking.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I would never call Supernatural like the best TV show ever. It's just that it's a consistently entertaining show with like 300 something episodes.
At that point, we might as well just fucking watch Dark Shadows.
You could.
Just saying.
Um,
I mean, because it's got vampires and a bunch of supernatural shit, and you're just saying it's entertaining. And how many episodes of Dark Shadows are there?
I have no idea.
Please look it up because it's actually a funny number.
1,225 episodes. My God.
Yeah, so like I'm just saying. You want to watch a supernatural show that'll keep going forever, but let's just watch Dark Shadows and call it a fucking day.
I don't know. I like Supernatural. I liked Benny the vegetarian vampire.
I like Benny and the Jets.
True. I just like that, like, when they first meet him, they're, of course, suspicious of him because he's a vampire. And he's like, hey, come on, man. I drink bag blood only, all right? It was donated. Granted, it was not donated to me. I'll give you that.
I bet he has a Cockney British accent.
No, he's, like, American, seemingly. Like, I would have tried to do the accent, or at least said that he has an accent. No, he's, like, American, I think. Or maybe Canadian, I don't know.
I keep seeing these videos of there's this one content creator who does covers of songs, but it's in a British country or like a fucking British London accent.
With the lights out, it's less dangerous.
Oh yeah, and like he's always doing ad libs, and there's just this one that sits in my head. So have you heard that shitty song where it's like she's from Texas, I can tell?
Yep.
So this guy has one where it's just him singing in a terrible London accent about she's from Essex, I can tell. Y'all in it, right?
Oh, the other fucking thing with Benny, there's an episode where or not an episode, but there's a scene where he's riding in the car with them to like go do something. And he's got his little cooler full of blood bags that he uses as his food supply so he doesn't have to hurt people. And there's like a whole scene where he's just like sitting shotgun in the Impala, sipping from the blood bag through a straw like it's a fucking like fruit punch or something. And then Dean's just like eventually, yo, can you do that when I'm not here? Like, if I get that you're not hurting anyone, but it still freaks me out a little.
He's gotta drink blood.
Yeah, like he puts up with it initially, but it's like, all right, dude, I don't like how similar that sounds to a Capri Sun when you suck on it. Yeah, it's like making that sound, and he's just like, Jesus, man, come on.
So what I'm hearing is they missed the ultimate opportunity for a comeback here, and this is where I'm just gonna call it out or see it as lowbrow. Because the only appropriate response would be for the vampire to look directly at him and go, "Hey, respect the pouch." Yeah, oh yeah, no, all you millennials just felt the twinge in your balls because it was there.
Sometimes they weren't allowed to say things like that on the CW, but
dude, you can say respect the pouch. You cannot stop me from saying respect the pouch. Respect it.
There were one or two times in that show where someone would say something like, "That's bat crap crazy," and I'm like, wow, I can't imagine what word was in the script before the network made you change it.
I just hate that they don't rewrite it. Like, it makes me think of there's this one Eminem song, I think it's My Name Is, where like he essentially just wrote two different songs, because if you played the actual song censored on the radio, you'd mostly just have an empty beat.
Yeah.
So like he just wrote a bunch of silly ass lines, and like I feel like when I hear bat crap crazy, I just want you to say like that's bananas or something like say something really fucking stupid.
They were usually better about writing around the limitations on their swearing. That was just like one of the few examples where I guess they just couldn't think of a better one in time.
It was just one time at band camp.
But yeah, usually they were better about like writing the dialogue where what it's actually saying is explicit without actually using any naughty words.
Not a word in it.
But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying it's the best show ever, but it's pretty amusing. It's got some really cool shit in it. It has the Scooby-Doo crossover episode.
Scooby-Doo crossover episode. Fuck off.
It has surprisingly gory effects for network TV at times, which I appreciate that. Anyway, my thoughts on The Master overall, it's fucking great. I don't know, go watch it. It's on fucking a bunch of streaming services right now, and it's always on the piracy sites.
I mean, hear me out. What if me and you tried to see who could finish the movie the fastest?
Well, I mean, technically, we'd finish it at the exact same time.
Not necessarily, depending on how we accessed it.
True.
What? So are you saying that there's no value to the master race? Are you saying that you don't support the master race? Are you saying that you don't see any usage to participating or being a part of the master race?
I think there is something worthy in being part of the master race, as in the Dark Knight comic that Frank Miller wrote that apparently is pretty good.
Well, also it's watching the master.
Yeah. Anyway, I really, really badly have to take a whiz.
You don't have to pee.
I mean, I do. I probably have to shit too, so I'm gonna go do that. We'll be back on Thursday, by which time I will have watched at least one other of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies. I'm not doing it today because I saw the Odyssey, and if I watch too many movies in one day, they blend together in my head.
When you gonna watch any of the ones Nick recommends? Sad face.
Begonia? Because that one's here. Begonia is like coming up really short. Like as soon as I'm done with this PTA marathon, Begonia is one of the first ones on the list.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
there's another one. I can't remember what it is right
I mean, I have these just basically in the order I was told to watch them. So it goes Anatomy of a Fall, Secret Agent, Kinds of Kindness, and Begonia.
Works.
Yeah, so like probably by the end of this month, I'll have seen Begonia.
Speaking of fucking Todd Alquist,
Yeah. Anyway, I'm about to go shit my fucking pants, so I don't
shit your
want to do
pants.
that.
Shit your pants on camera. Shit your pants on camera.
I'm not going to do that because everyone else in my house has been doing that enough lately.
All right, folks, we are people without pants. Larry is gonna shit himself on camera. We will be back on Thursday. We do enjoy you guys very much. We come back at 8 p.m. EST. We're working on the other stuff. This is Matt Damon. That's Matt Damon. I'm Apache Crossroads. Come back next week. Come back this week, and god damn it, go and kiss your mother. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, like the stream and all that, everyone. Good night.